USAA, the members of USAA have some connection to the military. Either they served or family members served. And a phenomenal organization historically. And especially it's worth mentioning, we just had the 4th of July holiday. I hope you had a great one. And we get to celebrate these holidays because of the brave men and women who have served over the centuries in the U.S. military. It took bravery for us to have our independence. It took bravery for us to keep our independence and position in the world. And military personnel have so many sacrifices they make for us, but then at the same time, there are things that come with serving in the military that are wonderful. The retirement plans available, the pension that has been available that's gone through a change recently for newer service members, a wonderful benefit. And then having wonderful organizations like Navy Federal Credit Union, PenFed, and other military-oriented credit unions, and then USAA, the military insurer and one of the nation's largest banks. And I have been a USAA member myself since the 1970s. I joined the same year that I joined then Pentagon Federal Credit Union. I'm not in PenFed anymore, but I'm in Navy Federal. And USAA, I have never had a crossword with them myself and never had a problem myself. But there are many published reports, as well as the complaints that we have heard again and again, both to our Team Clark Consumer Action Center and us here on the podcast and in my TV work. And USAA seems to have had a decline in, to put it in modern corporate speak, a decline in customer service and corporate engagement. In simple words, USAA is letting their members down over and over again. And we, on 2 occasions, have reached out to USAA and said, hey, we're getting all these complaints, what's going on? And they've taken on a bunker mentality and have refused to engage with us about the problems that members at USAA are having. I have not had, again, personal experience with USAA that's been negative. So I have no reason personally to leave. But I'm quite disturbed about the multiple complaints we've had about USAA Bank. There's story after story about what's gone on with the bank, including a story recently that talks about how there are thousands of USAA banking customers who've had money looted from their accounts and then had no help, no response, no empathy, sympathy, nothing from USAA, almost robot-like. This is ridiculous. And then the complaints we've had about an area that we never used to have complaints about from USAA, and that is claims experience. When the chips are down, one of the reasons USAA always ranked as at the top of the heap in terms of insurers for homes and cars is what happens when you do have an accident or you do have a storm hit your home or whatever, that they're there with you, and not as a slogan, but in reality. So I'm kind of at a loss here, other than I have to acknowledge this problem. And again, USAA won't engage with us what they're doing about it or even acknowledging there is a problem. But I want you to know, if you're a USAA insured or a USAA banking customer, that there's definitely a lot of smoke here. And when there's this much smoke, there's some fire. And there is a problem at USAA, and be on your guard and be aware. Now, on the thing about hackers, a lot of what's happened with people's accounts being looted involves hackers, it involves AI, it involves pretexting, and this same stuff is happening across the banking world. And the banking industry is fighting from behind against determined, sophisticated hackers. So you need to be aware that this is a real and serious problem regardless of where you bank. And you need to be really thoughtful about having two-factor authentication and having it really beefed up with one of those crazy weird passwords that are really long on your financial accounts, and make sure the password on your financial accounts never is similar to a password you use anywhere else. Second, you want to have two-factor. To your phone, that's okay. There are other things like Google Authenticator for people who use Androids, and we're going to get there with security. It's just the cavalry's not riding in right now. So you need to set up as many precautions and steps you can to protect yourself, and know that you can receive a phone call, a text, an email, any kind of urgent communication that appears totally authentic from your bank or credit union. And it will create a sense of urgency. It could be from the police or a court system or whatever. And know that the ability of criminals to impersonate an organization or an official of an organization is so easy now and so convincing. And the thing they create, this sense of urgency, oh, you're going to be arrested today, blah, blah, blah. Step back. Take a deep breath. Somebody tells you your account's been hacked. Take that deep breath. Odds are they're predicting the future, not what's actually happened in the immediate past. It's a crook pretending to be whatever to get at your personal information or at your money. We right now have to be our own solid police department. We can't rely on the bank. We can't rely on the police in this case because they're after the fact. We are the ones in the midst of the moment that have to step back and say, they're telling me I have to do this right this second, right now, right away. That's your tip-off, almost with certainty, that you're about to be a victim of a scam, a con, a rip-off artist.